Greetings from across the globe, all ramp enjoyers. This is simicfan45, back at it again with another video. Now I know Betrayers of Kamigawa just came out, and you guys have been waiting for my set review so you can pwn some nudes in Limited, your local LGS. But in the meantime, I'm going to tide you over with this video, where I'm going to be checking out the latest Commander Precons. Alright, so first we're going to be looking at Aether Drift. This is Eternal Might. This is Esper Zombies deck, it looks like. Let's take a look at the commander. Got Temet. This guy seems pretty cool. He's got like a beak or like a chin or something. He's got like a BDSM whip. That's cool. So this is a zombie tribal guy. Zombies are pretty cool. It's like the most supported tribe in Magic history. He's got Menache. We like that. Yeah, and he likes drawing cards. So this could be a certified ponder moment if you want to upgrade this deck with a little ponder. This deck seems pretty fun. It does have blue in it, which is good. It doesn't have any green, but you know what? We'll take those. I think I would give this 8 out of 10. Seems pretty fun. I'd play this. Alright, so next up we have Living Energy. This is the second Aether Drift deck, and there's only 2 this time. So let's check this out. We got Saheeli, Radiant Creator. Okay. So the first problem I've seen is that it says energy on it like multiple times. So it's going to have to go in the trash, even though it does have green and blue in it. So let me throw that in the garbage. 0 out of 10. Whoa! Oh, sorry, I just got a little scared there. Let's take a look at one of the decks from Duskborn. Pretty scary set. This one's called Jump Scare. I got a little scared because of the exclamation point there. So the first thing I'm noticing here is that this is a Simic deck, so let's take a look at the commander, Zimone. She's unraveling some mysteries. She's got some sort of like value engine going on here. I like that, Let's read the text. Alright, so this one's gonna have to go in the garbage too. 0 out of 10. So if you're a fan of like bunny rabbits and critters and that kind of thing, you were probably a fan of Bloomburrow, just like me. There weren't enough fish in it, personally, but it was alright. So let's take a look at one of these decks from Bloomburrow. This is the Raccoon deck. Seems pretty cool. It's a Gruul deck. Is that what it's called? Gruul? It's because they're cool. Cool and Gruul. So let's take a look at this commander. That's a Raccoon. Interesting. Making some creatures to attack people. We like that. And you do get to draw a card, so that's good. Like, you don't have access to Ponder, which is kind of a shame, but you can draw some cards anyway, which is pretty good for a Raccoon. This is a pretty cool Gruul deck, so I'm going to give this a 6 out of 10. Pretty good. Alright, so next let's take a look at something from Modern Horizons 3. MH3 was pretty good for Simic enjoyers. There's a pretty good Simic card that came out in this set. I kind of forgot like what it was called or what it did, but that one was pretty good, so I liked that. So let's take a look at this deck. This is a 6-color deck, and I didn't know they made those. I don't really keep track of how many colors there are because I really only use 2 of them, but that's quite a few. So let's take a look at the commander. This guy is really ugly. I don't really want to read his text because his like appearance is putting me off. I mean, he does have access to blue and green, but I kind of don't want him to, like, give it back. So this guy's gonna have to get a 1 out of 10, like nuked from orbit perhaps. Next up is Outlaws of Thunder Junction. This was a really cool set. It had like cowboys and guns in it. I was a big fan of that, so it was pretty cool. Let's take a look at this deck. This is a Mardu deck. Mardu. You know, this kind of reminds me of this one Mardu card. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. It's called Edgar Markov. So I don't know how you guys tend to feel about Edgar Markov. Please let me know in the comments, but I have a couple opinions about this card, so let's go through them in order from top to bottom. So, first of all, This is a 6 mana card. That's quite a few, especially for a 4/4. In fact, I'd go so far as to say it's fucking awful. So that's not a good start. Let's look at the art. He looks stupid. Like, what a complete and total idiot. Like, he can't even hold his own sword. He's got to have some goofball to give it to him, and he's got a stupid cup full of blood. What a nerd. Like, who does this guy think he is? So, he is a vampire, which is, like, the cringiest faction in Magic the Gathering. Like, there's no faction that takes themselves as seriously as the vampires in this game, despite the fact that they're not serious. They're actually really stupid. And it doesn't help that he's a knight, which is like the other really, really cringy faction. So it's really a bad combo there. So moving on to the text box, the first word I'm reading is eminence. And I know you guys know from my past videos how I tend to feel about these commander-specific mechanics like eminence. And I think really what it comes down to is that they had this card, the 6 mana 4/4 with some irrelevant keywords, and they were like, man, this guy sucks, like, nobody's ever going to play him. So, like, let's give him an ability so that you don't have to play him, so that you can just make a deck, and then you don't even use your commander, because he sucks so bad, and then he's just a really, like, shitty enchantment that sits in your command zone the whole game. So that's pretty cool. I'm a really big fan of the eminence mechanic. I think they really did a good job with all of the commander-specific mechanics, where things only work if you have your commander out, or they're like weird, gimmicky commander stuff. I think that's really cool. I'm really, really happy about those mechanics. It makes me feel really good when I'm looking on like Scryfall, sorting by EDH rec, and I'm seeing all of these terrible cards that say it only has an effect if you control your commander, and it's like the worst shit I've ever seen, and people are like, yeah, let's use, like, Edgar Markov. So let's keep going down the text box. So he's got First Strike. Now, I don't know if you guys knew this, but First Strike is actually the only keyword in Magic that doesn't fucking do anything. Like, I genuinely want you guys to think, like, off the top of your head, when was the last time that you, like, had First Strike and it did something, like, in a game? Like in any format, like limited, constructed, commander. Like, name a time that First Strike has helped you. And I know that you can't, because why would you? Because it doesn't do anything. And then he has haste, which is great. It's actually great because they made this guy so overpriced that, like, the only turn you're going to be able to use him until he gets removed is the turn you play him. So you do get to swing for 4 before your commander gets killed again, and now it costs 8. So that's pretty cool that you had to wait 6 turns with no ramp to finally play your 4/4 commander, and everybody knew that you were going to play it, so they can just remove it immediately. But at least you can deal 4 commander damage. So that's like a 6 commander playing's clock, and it's only going to cost you like 100 mana, so that's really good. I like that. And then right at the bottom, you can put a counter on each vampire you control when it attacks. So that's great, because it means on turn 6, you get a counter on each vampire you control, and then the same goes for turn 14, and then turn 24, and etc. So that's going to be really useful in your vampire deck. That you're going to have all of these, like, 1/1 tokens, and all of these, like, really cringy tryhard guys who are drinking blood all the time, and, like, being really dumb. And then you can give those guys a single +1/+1 counter every approximately 10 turns, until the day that you die, and you just have to really hope that nobody else in your game can do anything to, like, stop you before you get your 14-turn combo down. So that's cool. And then there's just one more thing I had to mention about Edgar Markov. If you can just check out this new card, this like alternate art from Innistrad Remastered. I have to say, this is maybe the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's absolutely horrendous. Like, first of all, his name is in quotation marks, which is actually, ironically, how I refer to him whenever I'm speaking about him in real life. I use air quotes to make sure that people know that I hate this guy so much. And he looks really stupid. Like, this guy doesn't even have a napkin to clean up his blood. Like, what a fucking idiot. And then they're really, like, putting Eminence front and center so that everybody knows immediately. Like, yeah, this card sucks, guys. It's got Eminence. So, don't spend $40 on the poster version for this Eminence card, because it's not going to be worth it, because this guy sucks. So, yeah, that's, what were we talking about? It was like a commander deck. So this is like, treasures. That's cool. You don't have blue or green in this deck. You actually have literally the absence of those colors. But treasures is kind of like a green ramp kind of thing. And I'm sure there's some way in this deck to draw cards, even if you're not able to, like, scry or, like, look at the cards before you draw them, which is kind of pathetic. But this isn't the worst thing I've ever seen, so I'm just going to go ahead and give this a 5 out of 10. And thank you for watching. Next time I'll take a look at some more commander decks, and then, of course, that Betrayers Kamigawa limited review that you guys have been waiting for. So I'll see you guys next time. simicfan45 out.